You have style, you have beauty, you have endurance, you have resilience.
I'm Xeni, and we have a very special guest now, Jane McGonigal from Institute for the Future, who gave what is hands down the most popular, most riveting talk at the Game Developer Conference this week. Nearly everybody who's come in here, when I asked them, what was the most memorable presentation there? Everybody was talking about you. Yay. Jane's talk was called Learning to Make Your Own Reality.
Yeah, for the last few years, I've been thinking about why so many people spend so much of their time in game worlds, what it is that's so engaging about virtual environments and game systems that is beating reality, and trying to figure out if it's a losing battle. Like, should we make better and better game worlds that are really good at distracting us from how alienated we are from real life, or should we take the lessons we've learned about engagement and happiness from games and stick it back in the real world? So redesign everything, redesign work, school, airports, just everything, and make it work more like a game. So what I tried to do at GDC this year was bring some of the 5, I think, platforms and scientific research areas that we have that will let us start to do that. We have the technology, we just need to want to do it. I'm writing a book about how we can change reality and make it work like a game, and so I'm just scouring all the research about happiness and engagement. So there are 2 big findings that show up in every country, every culture, every demographic. One of them is dancing.
We are hardwired for dancing to make us just, it unleashes opiates, adrenaline, oxytocin that makes us bond with someone else. And if we're dancing with somebody else, we get mirror neurons where our brain structure actually resembles the person we're dancing with, right? Wow. So it's this it's like mind melding basically, right? But some people are too shy to dance in front of other people, like myself. So one of the things I started to think about was, could you make a game that would get people who are too shy to dance around other people in a context where you could unleash the mirror neurons? And I didn't necessarily believe that they would have to be in the same physical space. Like, could you dance at home alone in front of a webcam or
with
on
somebody
Ustream?
on the other side of the world who's also dancing?
Right,
and would that produce the same chemical and emotional response?
Yes.
So what's the answer?
Well, you know, we haven't run any statistical measures yet. But the soft answer is yes, because we're running a game now, or I'm running a game just in my spare time. It's called Top Secret Dance Off, and people who play it seem to be just effusively, there's a lot of love pouring out at random people that you don't know. In this trailer, first of all, your first mission is you have to create an avatar for yourself. You are your own walking avatar, but you have to cover your face in some way. So we wanted to remove one of the social barriers to posting dancing videos of yourself on the internet.
Meaning that people are afraid that their bosses or their future employers or people that they want to have some kind of social barrier with might see that and hold it against them.
Right, or even just in a way when you slip on the mask, it just frees you from who you think you have to be. And then what they're doing is they're leveling up in these skills, and the idea was you can be a really powerful member of this top secret dance-off even if you are not a good dancer, right? If you're really into it, you can power up in exuberance even if you're technically not good.
So this is interesting because there's this whole sort of social phenomenon right now, American Idol and you know, Who's Got Talent, and the idea being that the only people who can sort of rise in competition around music or art are people who have technical skill, whatever that's recognized as. And it's a different kind of reward system.
Yeah, and the way you get points is totally subjective based on other people. So, you know, one place I don't like online a lot is YouTube because of the comments culture.
That's
It is
interesting.
toxic.
Yes.
And one of the neuroscience findings that I'm using in my game design has to do with the concept of Zen, which is little acts of humanity, little acts of unreciprocated kindness that we do to each other.
Right.
And YouTube is basically has no Zen. There's like, it basically just devolves into people being mean to each other.
Whoa, wait. So, okay, first, where does that word come from? It sounds
Confucius, yes.
Sounds Chinese.
Yes, it's a old Confucius theory that some neuroscientists at UC Berkeley have picked up
Wow.
to explain some of the brain functions that we have that reward us with pleasure when we do unreciprocated kindness.
Wow. Okay, so this is becoming very personal for me. So the idea that when, let's say, I log on to the Boing Boing video channel on YouTube or sort of look in the comments queue, when there are dozens and dozens of people stacking up saying negative things,
Yes.
even if I know that they're
Yes.
not true or
Yes.
that they're crazy or they're not even typed right, there's a kind of a negative emotional response.
Right,
that I
and you
have. It's
can't
involuntary.
you can't rationally exactly.
Yeah.
And so the neuroscientists have come up with a mathematical ratio where you count up all the ways that you can be kind to other people, and how low the threshold is for that, and put it up over the ways that how easy it is to be negative.
Right.
Like if you can be anonymous, and how many clicks does it take. But something in Top Secret Dance Off, you don't get to like comment on people's videos the same way you do on YouTube. You have to first pick something to power them up with. You have to give them a point for boldness or sneakiness or courage or whatever you want, and then you get to explain why you gave it to them. So if you don't like a video, you just ignore it. You can't be cruel. You can't be obnoxious. And I did that as a design decision to try and see if we could create an online video environment with really high Zen. And the amount of love that people have, it's ridiculous. People come on and they will wade through, 100 videos just, you have style, you have beauty, you have endurance, you have resilience. And the more you do it, the more you love it. So that's one of the, that's one of the design factors. And the other thing is humiliation. Really convincing findings that when you get embarrassed, if you're around people you trust, your hand goes to your face, you blush, you look down, but you also smile.
Wow.
And if you measure the happiness centers of the brain, in the uptick after you are embarrassed, you are happy for a split second. So the scientists are trying to figure out why would people be happy with embarrassment. There's all this research and theory, and it turns out that when we're around other people, we're showing them that we feel bad about ourselves in some way. We feel that our status is lower. This is a physical signal to them so that they realize that we think in that moment that they have higher status than us. People with higher status like knowing that we know they have higher status, so they feel good and they like us more because it's like, yes, they know their place, and now I'm going to be kind back to them so that they can see that I see. So it's like this dance that we're doing, the status dance, where everyone winds up happier. It's physiologically built in. So the idea that you could be slightly embarrassed by being vulnerable and dancing in a community with a high Zen ratio where you trust that people will not be horrible to you,
Right.
It makes you happy. Every time you embarrass yourself, you are getting happier, and other people are happy to not make you feel bad about the fact that you're humiliated. It's just like this engine for social ecstasy.
I think that's a good note to shift to a Katamari Damacy, Jai-Ho, Slumdog Millionaire, Internet Dance-Off.
We are about to
After
demonstrate the highest potential for humanity.
We're
With
making the world
Slumdog
better.
Millionaire, Katamari dancing without moving our feet.